Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York Season 10, Episode 4. If you did not watch my review for Episode 3, please check that out and I will have the link to that video in my description box. Now, this episode starts with Chrissy and Yandy's little verbal altercation at Jonathan's perfume launch event. This whole thing got started because Kim Bella showed up to the event and she started bringing up the whole verbal altercation that happened between her, Jonathan, and Yandy and Sin at that little lunch that they did, where she felt like Yandy was being messy because Yandy read the article talking about Jim and Chrissy's house being foreclosed on, and Yandy brought up the fact that around the time he stopped paying the mortgage was around the time she stopped managing him. Now, Kim Bella felt like that was Yandy taking shots at Chrissy, and so she started to defend Chrissy. Jonathan jumped in on the argument because he felt like, Kim Bella was going way too hard in the paint, making it a bigger deal than what it actually was, and that that he doesn't understand why Kim Bella's going so hard for Chrissy when her and Chrissy literally just started talking again. And it was odd to them that, she was going so hard for Chrissy because Chrissy literally beat her ass on national television and embarrassed the hell out of her. So they're surprised at how hard she's going. Now, Yandy feels like, Kim Bella has ulterior motives for befriending Chrissy. I kind of feel that way too, because I'm not saying it's wrong for Kim Bella to defend Chrissy if she feels like she needs to, but I honestly feel like, why would you go so hard to defend somebody who literally beat your ass on national television? It makes me wonder if maybe the only reason why she's trying to be really cool with Chrissy is because she wants the two of them to gang up on Yandy. Yandy's definitely not innocent. As I said before, Yandy has a way of speaking to people in a way that, is, I don't know, she's like really passive aggressive to me. Now, Yandy feels like Chrissy doesn't even have a legitimate reason to have any type of issues with her, especially making a scene at Jonathan's event. And she also feels like Kim Bella's the one who's starting the trouble. Now, Chrissy feels like Yandy isn't an honest person, and that's why she feels like they're never going to get anywhere, because she feels like, she can't believe anything that comes out of Yandy's mouth, and Yandy won't own up to anything. I honestly feel like if Chrissy and Yandy are ever going to work this thing out, they're going to have to do it not in a group. So Joe says that him and Tahiri have a mutual respect for one another since they have been broken up. They were in a on and off relationship for quite some time with one another, and it was a very toxic relationship that they had. Now, one point he even proposed to her. She rejected his proposal because she said that she didn't trust him. They had a very toxic relationship. He even addressed in this scene that he used to do a lot of drugs, like popping pills, and it caused a lot of problems in his life, especially between him and Tahiri. I remember one episode in particular, she wanted him to take an at-home drug test, otherwise she wasn't going to continue to have any type of relationship with him. And so he was saying that he's changed and he really wants her to see that he's a different person than he was before. I don't know if Joe has changed completely, because he kind of has a cycle of doing the same things he was doing before that caused trouble in his life. Now, she is out helping him pick out an outfit for Safari and Erica's wedding, and he lets her know that it's kind of messy for her to be picking out his outfit for his child's mother's ex's wedding, okay? Because Sin and Erica used to date, and obviously Joe has a child with Sin, and they used to date. Now, I say child's mother because I don't like to say baby mama. I don't like that term, okay? So, child's mother it is. But Tahiri lets him know that it doesn't matter what people think, that they're just friends with one another, and if they want to hang out from time to time, they should be able to do that. Now, I don't feel like Joe is really trying to cross the line right now with Tahiri, because he knows that he doesn't want to cause trouble between him and Sin, because him and Sin are already not in a good place with one another. She found some stuff in his phone of him cheating, and now even them dropping off their son and picking him back up, being around each other, doing that is a lot of tension. So I honestly feel like, Tahiri probably does want to give Joe another shot. She seems like she's interested. I don't know if Erica has gotten in her head a bit, because Erica has been very pushy about Tahiri and Joe getting back together. And I don't know if she's trying to go at Sin by doing that, but she definitely is being pushy, and I feel like Tahiri's kind of falling into that trap. Yandy is out with Jonathan, Sin, and Juju to have like a little friends night, because she said that there's been so much drama lately between Chrissy and Kim Bella and her that she just wants to enjoy herself around the people that she has a good time with. Now, Janowski and Rich end up showing up together. Hopefully it's just a working relationship, because we all know Rich's history of messing with the women that he tries to manage. Hopefully he doesn't do that when it comes to Janowski. Janowski seems like she has no romantic interest in Rich at all. She's just about the business, and hopefully he sticks to the business this time too, because he doesn't want to repeat of what happened in past seasons with other women that he was trying to manage. Now, Janowski wants to work with Safari, and they all told her that she better ask Erica first before Erica gets pissed off about it, because Erica is a hard person to deal with. She has a very bad temper. She has a very bad attitude at times, and she is controlling from what Sin said, and Sin would know because Sin was in a relationship with her. Now, Janowski was saying that she doesn't have to ask Erica anything, and I honestly feel like that's going to be drama between her and Erica, because she doesn't want to ask to work with Safari. I don't know if Safari would work with her, because he's already in the doghouse with Erica at this point, because he keeps on doing things that piss her off. So I honestly don't know if he's going to work with Janowski, but I feel like there's going to be some drama, because she just said that she doesn't have to ask Erica anything. Now, Yandy says that Erica is drama, and that her and Erica have had their issues before, but she still wants to be cool with Safari, because her and Safari have known each other for a very long time, but ever since he's been with Erica, he seems very distant from her. Now, I'm interested to see if Yandy and Erica could drop their beef this season, because I honestly feel like they don't have a valid reason to have any issues with one another. Fresher takes himself and his children's mom and their 2 children out to eat together. He said that they've been together since they was young, which I obviously think that they're still together now, because he kind of gave it away by saying that they were moving to a new house in New Jersey, and that she's a stay-at-home mom while he works and makes the money, and that he's trying to get his record label off the ground so that they can live a lot more comfortably. Now, he tells Jen about Janowski, okay, and about how he wants to work with her, and Jen seems like she has an issue with that. Now, Fresher says that Jen doesn't like Janowski because when she met her, it didn't go so well. She had an issue with Janowski wanting to talk to Fresher without her being there, and so that's why she doesn't like Janowski. Now, he says that Jen doesn't like him working with females, and he said that in the past she has come to, studio sessions and with a group of girls to go fight somebody before. So he doesn't know how he feels about bringing her to certain events that he has, because he feels like she's going to make a scene. And I feel like she's definitely going to make a scene when she sees how flirty he's been with Janowski, because we didn't know that he was with his child's mother still, even living together. And so he was very flirty with Janowski in the last episode. So I'm interested to see what happens when Jen and Janowski are in the same room together. And, he told Jen that she can't come to everything, because he knows that she's going to act up. If she sees one little thing she doesn't like, she's going to flip her switch. So he told her she can't come to everything. There's only certain events that he'll invite her to. Erica is stressing out over planning this wedding, because their wedding is literally like probably 2 weeks away at this point in time, and she's pregnant, so she's stressing out and she's emotional, so she starts kind of crying a little bit, and Safari goes in there to try to calm her down, but she doesn't really want him calming her down. She's talking about how she feels fat, which I don't think she looks fat at all. I think she looks great while being pregnant. The only thing that's grown on her is her boobs and her belly, and that's it. She looks good to me while she's pregnant, but she was telling Safari basically that he was full of shit when he said that she's not fat, because he told her he wanted to do the wedding sooner so that she wouldn't look fat for their wedding, which is like, come on, Safari. See, he digs his own graves in his relationship why he has issues with Erica, okay? He definitely does. Now, Erica says that she wants Yandy off the guest list because she's trying to, narrow down the list of people who are coming to the wedding, and Safari tells her that Yandy had actually invited him to an event. Now, Erica asks if Yandy likes Safari because she never speaks to her when she never speaks to Safari when she's around. And, Safari thought it was weird that she even asked that question. It's like, girl, your hormones are all over the place, because if you think Yandy likes Safari, there's something wrong with you. She's just assuming that. And I think Safari wants Erica to come with him to the event so that her and Yandy could actually talk, because they don't have necessarily real issues with each other, which is what Erica said. She said that she doesn't necessarily have a problem with Yandy. They had some disagreements before in the past, but I don't think it's nothing that can't be fixed. Now, he says that he's not inviting Yandy to the wedding, and Erica actually feels like she's glad about that because he made a decision about it, and that's one less thing that she has to stress out about. Hopefully, Erica and Yandy can squash their beef at this event, because I honestly feel like there's no reason for them to beef. Now, what they didn't show when they showed the scene of Jonathan's event was that Yandy had told Chrissy that she was working with, Chrissy's business partner, Greg. And Chrissy has an issue with Yandy working with Greg because she doesn't like Yandy. They have problems with each other, so she doesn't want to work with anybody that has anything to do with Yandy. Now, she ends up meeting with Greg for drinks to talk to him about it. And she tells him that Yandy says she does business with him, so she asked him about it because she really wants to know, and I feel like it's good to go straight to the source instead of making assumptions, so I think Chrissy did the right thing. Now, Greg said that Yandy told him that she wanted to buy some properties, and he told her whenever she's ready to let him know, and that was it. Now, Chrissy has a problem with Yandy trying to make it seem like it was bigger than what it was. She feels like Yandy was trying to make it seem like her and Greg are doing actual business directly with one another, and that it's like a real business partnership that they were having. And she has an issue with that because she feels like, Yandy's just trying to do that to get underneath her skin. Now, I don't know if Yandy was doing that to try to get under her skin. From the way that Greg put it, it made it seem like Yandy was over-exaggerating the business that she's doing with Greg. But I also feel like, Chrissy's playing into it too much. I feel like if that is what Yandy's trying to do, is get under her skin, it's obviously working because it obviously did get under, Chrissy's skin. Now, Chrissy says that she wants to have a conversation with Yandy, but she feels like it's not going to go anywhere because Yandy's a liar. So she insists that Yandy's this big liar, which we've seen Yandy lie before, okay? We've definitely seen Yandy lie before. Yandy has been caught in lies before in past seasons. So, there is some truth to Chrissy's issues that she has with Yandy, but hopefully they can figure something out if they meet up on their own without Kim Bella there. Yandy and her business partner go to a meeting with the mayor to try to get his blessing to do things to try to better their community. They are trying to build up the city and give the people of the community jobs, which I think is great, and that's why she wanted to buy up some properties from Greg, who is Chrissy's business partner. Now, they get the green light from the mayor and the support from the mayor to do so, and I think that Yandy's doing a good thing. Whether you like Yandy or not, she's doing something that's good for the community. Now, she tells her friend that Chrissy is doing, business ventures with Greg in real estate, and that she's a part of Lady Millionaires or Billionaires or whatever you call it, and that Chrissy feels like Yandy was trying to copy her by trying to work with Greg to try to buy up some properties. Now, Yandy feels like she doesn't understand why Chrissy would feel like she's trying to copy her, because she feels like there's no comparison to what the two of them are trying to do. Yandy feels like what she's trying to do is more important and more beneficial than what Chrissy's trying to do. Now, Yandy's business partner tells her, because Yandy and her business partner took a picture with Greg, who is Chrissy's business partner, and, Yandy's business partner posted it on her social media page, and Greg reposted it, and it got taken down. So Yandy's business partner asked Greg why he took the picture down, and he said that Chrissy wanted the picture down. Now, Yandy feels like it's extremely petty for Chrissy to want the picture down, which I think is petty too. So just because you don't like her doesn't mean that somebody else can't work with her. But I know that if she doesn't like her, she doesn't want to do business with somebody who's working with her. So that's probably Chrissy's reasoning for why she didn't want the picture up. Now, Yandy honestly feels like, Chrissy's making up reasons to have an issue with her. Now, hopefully the two of them can talk, but I don't think their conversation is going to get anywhere because their issues get pettier and pettier and pettier every episode. Safari meets with Tahiri to get a little bit of advice because of what's going on between him and Erica, and he meets with her at Tahiri's salon, which I think is good that she opened up a salon. I think that she can get a lot of business and she could be successful with a hair salon. Now, he basically breaks the ice with Tahiri and tells her that he's inviting Joe and he wants to make sure she's okay with Joe going to the wedding. Obviously, she's okay with Joe going to the wedding because she just helped him pick out an outfit for it. I just feel like, Safari and Erica are really trying to get Tahiri and Joe to get together, and I don't understand their reasoning for that. Other than friggin' Erica wanting to get back at Sin. Now, Safari says that he doesn't want to invite Yandy if it's going to be a problem with Erica. And basically, Erica told him it wasn't an issue for, Yandy to come because her and Yandy don't necessarily have any real issues with one another other than some disagreements that they've had before in the past. And Tahiri tells him that he's making it a bigger thing than what it is if Erica said that she doesn't have any issues with Yandy. And he invites Tahiri to an event that Yandy invited him to so that Erica has someone with her to feel comfortable being around Yandy, because he wants Yandy and Erica to talk. Whether Yandy goes to the wedding or not, he wants their beef to be squashed. So Yandy and Chrissy decide to meet up with one another. This time they meet up when it's just the two of them. They don't have Kimbella or Jonathan there, which I think is a good thing because I feel like the extra people being there causes more drama than it needs to be. Maybe Jonathan being there wouldn't have been an issue, but I feel like Kimbella adds fuel to the fire that's already lit, okay? Now, you can feel the tension between the two of them. It's very awkward when the two of them sit down with each other. They probably felt really awkward even filming this scene. Now, Chrissy said that Yandy is making it seem like she was doing business directly with Greg when she wasn't. And Yandy told her that she is doing business directly with Greg. And, Chrissy pulls out paperwork and everything to try to prove that she's not working with Greg. But Yandy insists that she is working with Greg, whether Greg's name is on the paperwork or not. Now, Chrissy calls Yandy a liar, okay? And this is when the name calling starts because Yandy feels like Chrissy has no reason to call her any names because she didn't call her any names. And we know that Yandy can lie sometimes because she has lied in the past and we know that she has. But I definitely feel like Chrissy's overdoing it with this whole Yandy working with Greg thing. If you see the paperwork and it doesn't say Greg's name on it, just says the company on it, I don't think that she should care too much about it. It's like it's not affecting her business at all for him to, do some property work with Yandy. Now, Yandy ends up asking Chrissy if she doesn't want her working with Greg, and she said that she doesn't want her working with Greg because she's doing business with Greg and she doesn't want to do business with somebody who's doing business with someone she doesn't get along with. And Yandy feels like she's being petty for that. Now, Yandy said that Chrissy's taking food out of her kids' mouth because when she stops her from working with somebody that's going to make her money, that takes money out of her kids' pockets, okay? And, Chrissy basically feels like she doesn't care about that. And, Yandy kind of takes a shot at her for not being a mom and says that she doesn't understand what it feels like because she doesn't have any children of her own. And I was like, ooh, shots fired, okay? But Yandy did not say that to Chrissy. She said it in her little interview. Now, Yandy leaves, okay, because she thinks it's petty for Chrissy to stop Greg from working with her because they're grown-ass women and she feels like her working with Greg doesn't take anything from Chrissy, which is true. But she had to expect that was going to happen. I don't even know why Yandy even felt the need to tell Chrissy anything about her working with Greg when they were at Jonathan's event. It's the night of Janowski's showcase, and Rich invited everybody, including people he believes can help Janowski, and so she feels like the pressure is on because she has to impress some of these big names that are there that can take her career to the next level. Now, Yandy ends up showing up, and Erica and Safari and Tahiri are there too, so I'm guessing at some point throughout this night, they are going to talk with one another. Fresher shows up, okay, and it's awkward between him and Rich because Rich goes up to him and Janowski and tells Janowski that he needs her on stage. And Fresher seems like he's bothered by Rich and Janowski always being together and working with one another because he feels like Janowski may have already made her choice to go with Rich. Fresher is also surprised at all the important people that Rich invited because he hasn't stepped his game up and Rich has already stepped his game up. So at this point, he's at the bottom and Rich is at the top. Now, I think that Janowski had a really good performance. I think that she can rap very well. I don't know about her dance moves that she was doing on stage. I felt like she was doing too much. Like, I felt like her raps were really good, that she didn't have to do all that extra shit she was doing on stage. But I definitely feel like she has something. I just don't know if Rich or Fresher is the right person for her to work with. Now, Tahiri tells Juju and Jonathan that Erica is trying to get her and Joe together. And Juju and Jonathan have an issue with that, okay? Juju even tells her that she feels like Sin and Joe might get back together at some point. Now, Jonathan says that Erica is stirring the pot because she has a problem with Sin, and so that's the reason why she's trying to get Tahiri and Joe to be together, and he doesn't like that because Sin's one of his best friends, and he just feels like Erica is using Tahiri as a pawn. Now, Tahiri and Jonathan kind of get into a bit of an argument with one another because she feels like Jonathan's being dramatic about it, but I don't feel like Jonathan's being dramatic. I think that he's right about that. I honestly feel like Erica is only trying to get Tahiri to get with Joe because she wants to get back at Sin because her and Sin were together at one point in time and they have their issues with one another, and so Erica's trying to do that to be petty. Now, even Juju tells Tahiri that it's not cool for her and Joe to even try to get back together while the breakup between Sin and Joe is still fresh. Fresher goes up to Janowski and congratulates her on her successful performance that she did, and he tells her that he wants to sign her. Now, she tells him that it's been 2 to 3 months of her dealing with him, and he hasn't done anything. The only thing he's tried to do is focus on her image and telling her that he wants to get her body done, which he said again in this scene, which annoyed me because I don't feel like she has to get her body done and look like every other girl in the industry in order to be successful. There's people who have not had any work done and they can be successful, and I feel like her talent speaks for itself, and I feel like she looks good the way that she is. And I feel like he's just the type of person who you don't want to work with, because if he's trying to force you into getting surgery because that's what he thinks is going to make you successful, that's not somebody you should try to work with at all, okay? Now, Fresh's girl shows up, okay? Even though he didn't invite her to this event. He specifically did not invite her to this event because Janowski was going to be there, and Jen does not like Janowski. Now, she sees Fresher holding Janowski's hands, okay? Now, Janowski wasn't doing anything inappropriate. Fresher grabbed her by her two hands. She walked in and seen that, and she immediately went off. I feel like she shouldn't have gone off on Janowski. She should have went off on Fresher because he was the one that was grabbing onto her hands. Janowski wasn't the one who did anything necessarily wrong. And so I feel like she just kind of flew off the handle over something that wasn't even that big of a deal, and it wasn't that serious. And if you're that jealous of a person, I don't feel like you should be with somebody who's in the industry, because that comes with the territory. Not saying that you need to allow your man to do things that's disrespectful to you, but if you're going to be with a guy who's in the industry, you can't be that jealous of a person and that quick to snap. Now, her and Janowski start arguing, and Fresher tries to calm her down, but he says that there's no calming her down. Now, apparently her name is Groupie Slayer on social media, which is like, Jesus, I don't know if it's going to work with him working with any female artist when he has a woman like that in his corner. And I'm guessing he's cheated on her before, because I honestly don't feel like she would be acting like that if he hasn't given her reasons to not trust him. Now, Rich is embarrassed because he brought people there who aren't with the nonsense and who are really important, and Janowski's over there yelling back at Jen, and that's not a good look for Janowski, because people are not going to want to work with somebody who's a hothead. So Fresher takes Jen outside and he tries to calm her down, but he basically says that there's no calming her down. He gets her in the car and struggles to get her into the car. They're arguing in the car and they drive off. Now, Safari and Erica end up going up to Yandy to talk, and everything seems fine at first. Yandy and Erica are actually cordial with one another, and Yandy ends up asking Safari why he acts different towards her whenever Erica's around. Now, Erica says that she's over the top sometimes, and she knows that she overreacts to things, and so she kind of gives a slight apology to Yandy, and everything seems like it's fine. And Yandy ends up saying that Safari invited her to the wedding, and Erica gets pissed about that because she said that he made her think that he didn't invite her. Now, Erica was upset about it. She was extremely upset. And Yandy got, nervous because she's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to start any trouble. I didn't know that you didn't know that he was inviting me to the wedding. And she kind of tried to clean it up a bit and change around what she said to make it seem like he didn't actually invite her. And Erica was still pissed about it because she said that's still an invite, okay? So she's mad at, Yandy ends up getting up and leaving, okay? Because it's awkward. It's extremely awkward. And so Erica gets pissed off at Safari and tells him that he lied to her and that she shouldn't have to find out information from other people. And now she feels like she doesn't know what he's saying to other people that she doesn't know about. And so now she really doesn't trust him, which I honestly feel like if they don't trust each other so much, like she really doesn't trust Safari at all, they should not be getting married. And so Erica basically says she wants to go home, and now Safari's in the doghouse yet again. Now the episode cuts there. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I actually thought this was a really entertaining episode. Okay, I'm interested to see what happens with Tahiri and Joe, and see if Sin confronts Erica on trying to get Tahiri and Joe together. And I'm interested to see what happens with this whole Chrissy and Yandy thing, because obviously their conversation didn't go anywhere at all. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos, and thanks to all the people who are already subscribed and supporting the channel. I appreciate you all so very much, and until next time, I will see you in my next video.